hear me well? I'm so worried if my audio is okay. Okay, it is. So, yes, I can continue. Uh, Guys, today is a really huge, big day to be celebrated. We have arrived on our last class of Major Arcana Tarot cards. Just to remember, we are here and basing it on Rider-Waite tarot, right? And I always like to remember, and let's keep that in mind while we're in here in this situation of learning, because um, always is about developing intuition. So you can have the technical meaning for any tarot card. It will never substitute the power of spiritual communication. And why do I say that? Because check about this. Sometimes you could be on a reading and you don't know how to express whatever it is that you're feeling, or you're feeling ashamed, or your situation is socially delicate, so you don't want to expose yourself. But your spirit never stops communicating and probably puts you through a thorough reading exactly because you needed to hear some stuff. And because of that, your spirit will be communicating with the tarot reader about what's going on with you for real. And because of that, even though sometimes you want to stick to the technical information, what will happen is actually, I really didn't want to keep wearing this today, but for some reason my other microphone isn't working well, so I am wearing this today. Just a bit. Oh my god, my hair. um, do you think it's hearable if I keep it in here? Awesome. I prefer. Let me see if I hear myself well. Exactly because you needed to eat. Let me see if I hear myself okay well. So here I am. And the thing is, what I wanted to tell you guys about is because your spirit will be communicating with the reader's spirit sometimes. This the reader's spirit will receive the most unbelievable perspectives on each card because what you're needing to hear is not the elementary and technical part of the card. You're needing to express more from it. So your spirit will keep sending to the reader a lot of inspiration to read that specific card for you. And because of that, sometimes the technical meaning won't reach the whole purpose of a reading. So do you remember when I said in the first card, the full, well, in the full, you have uh, a white seeming to be mountains on a background, but actually some people see those mountains with snow on top of it, and some people actually see that as a lot of water coming against the rocks. And that is highly important because if you're interpreting the card for the fool as water from the beach against the rocks, you're talking about a challenging moment that has actually across the person's emotion and is probably spreading the person's emotion everywhere. While if you are seeing someone with, in the full card, if you're seeing snowy mountains, we are actually meaning of someone whose feelings are cold and they're going through an emotional challenge, and because of that, they're actually reserved. So, the importance of what you get, the importance of what you realize. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put my hair up because you guys have no idea of the heat around in here. Anyway, okay. So again, it is really important. I love when it's messy like this. Awesome. So it is really important to understand within you what are your personal perspectives on each card. So please remember about this. Take each card Smell them, talk to them, pretend they're your friend, go have that chat with each card. 5 days of reflection so you can grasp the most you can out of this. Because in a reading, it can be like very open. Always, I also like to starting with a set of tarot cards by waking them up, which is the ritualistic state of getting to the magical state, and then you open up and then you put all the elements you want to help it wake up and to bless it with the entity that will communicate with you through tarot, from tarot, okay? Better from than through, okay? And why am I saying all of this? Because now we're going to enhance our levels of practice. Because check this out. Last time I spoke with Evan, we were supposed to keep the minor arcana cards just for the membership. We wouldn't publish this. But recently I spoke with Evan, and well, I love everyone who wouldn't, right? He's going to release the minor arcana cards content for free here on YouTube as well. You just might as well come here to the channel, follow us now because it will be from Monday to Friday and it will last like 15 minutes, just one card per day. So it should take us all the 56 days to finish this because we're gonna dive into each card to explore the meaning. Because while the major arcana cards, they're supposed to be talking about very high level concepts such as freedom and waste and renewal and so many big things. The minor arcana cards, they're going to talk about our daily routine stuff. So the most basic, if you want to, how do you say? Some people here in Brazil from Minas Gerais, they say it, bring it to the kitchen, bring the chat to the kitchen, because we're going to treat more of the daily concerns. And yes, because of that, we are going to develop a lot of our intuitive process through these tarot classes. Okay, so if you like this kind of content, remember to share us with people who will enjoy it too. And remember to give us your likes and subscribe to the channel. Also, ring the little bell so you can receive the notifications for the next classes. But hypothetically, if nothing else changes throughout my life, because this has been a lot. I can't stand it anymore. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. You guys, you can put me in the perfect place for my soul. I receive it with a lot of love. Anyway, but there has been a lot of changes, and you guys have seen I was recording in the morning, and then in the afternoon, and then by the evening, and then by the afternoon, and here I am again. Because yes, my life has been going through this brutal amount of changes that I have been sharing with you guys here who have been following up the content here in the channel along with these cats. Hey, could you please excuse me? I know you're a star, but you're not going to teach much about tarot. Look at the man. He's the man in the house. There's only one man because the other girls are girls. Right? Little young man, and he's in love with me. Just a little cat moment. Anyway, so yes, to develop our intuition through the quotidian aspects, you should find the material available on loveandmoonboutique.com. If you become a membership, you'll be able to make the download of the presentation so you can look at it anytime you want, even ahead of the classes, right? Because the material is already full and they're actually, I should confirm this to Evan because he will make it available if I'm not mistaken by tomorrow. Anyway, okay, so as I was saying, very important. What are your perceptions? They're the most valuable thing. The technical part is just a basic guidance for you to tap into the meaning. If you even disconsider the imaginary part of the tarot reading, and if you just open your spiritual hearing, you will also be able to hear almost as in a conversation in your personal language what is going on with the person in the consultation. Okay. Yes, if you want the material, Love and Moon Boutique. Did I need to say anything else before starting? No, yes, I was just talking about my life changes. Yes, there has been so many, so this has been an adaptation so far. My schedules are going to remain from Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Et parfois, j'aurais parlé d'autres langues parce que j'aime. But I hope that's not a problem because this is just a power of expression that I usually do that with a lot of languages. It's kind of part of the process to remember some words in other languages anyway. And as usual, you guys know me. I will be here with uh, Google translators because sometimes I forget basic words because there's a lot going on in my mind. And because of that, I also like to keep apart some little minor comments that I like to pull from ChatGPT to make a complimentary comment throughout the lives. Okay. Again, as I was telling in the previous classes for all the previous major arcana cards, we have already gone through the first 18, 19. Yes, we went into 19. And now we should finish this. And what you will see is that I'm using normal slides construction frame image because when I try to present it, I don't know if my computer is quite old or if it's a communication kind of thing between YouTube and my computer, whatever this is. When I try to present the image just for black, I don't know why. I still didn't get to change that because I'm not tech savvy, right? So this is the situation. And through the technical part, I will be reading because I don't want to miss out on anything. But we are going to explore together the intuitive part for each card. And because this is the last class for the major arcana cards, I want to thank you highly for the opportunity of this space from Love and Moon Boutique, my whole spirituality, that please keep guiding me to present the best inspirations and connect with people so involved in the thing concerned with self knowledge. Okay, thank you so much for all the support. I have been loving this partnership, this openness, this path of healing, this channel through to yeah connect healing concepts. Okay, thank you so much for all the spirituality along with me here and along with other people here with us. And let's start. Okay. I'm gonna put this back on because now I'm gonna use my computer and this was separated in here just for getting closer to the microphone. So back to my head. Anyway, so let me open the file first. Number two. Can I make a little propaganda? This content is presented by loveandknowndboutique.com. Okay, that was just it, guys. Just because it felt funny. Anyway, can you guys believe it? We were on the last card. Just let me check a little something first because I don't want to miss out on important things. My channel. Just a bit, guys, because I want to make sure that I'm not going to mistake for the content. Otherwise, I had forgotten the sixth part, and apparently I created two native parts. Okay, still. Um, I don't know. Apparently, just recorded twice because one of them had a mistake on it, just a bit. Let me check on it because I want to make sure to not mix any content. That's not a nice. Mm, just a bit. Oh my god, you guys have no idea how hot it is here in my city. Oh my god, I wish I could have gone faster through this immediately. Just a bit, guys. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, before saying anything for starting the classes, I really wanted to mention. Yes, I really stepped on the mountain. So yes, I really know where to start. I know I have been a while out, and while I was out, I was taking care of this life transition that was so big and deep for me. And while I was out, Evan, which is the sweetest angel on earth to my life, he told me that some people were missing the content. So for you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate a lot that I can share knowledge with other people. Okay, I don't mind if you're one, if you're two, if you're outnumbered, but thank you so much. This is a knowledge that made the whole difference in the world for my personal life, so I'm glad to be able to share with you. Okay, now that I got the file, I will start sharing the screen and presenting it. Mm, so here, as I said to you guys, remember this. Sometimes you can see this as snowy mountains, sometimes as water against the rocks. Each one of them will have a different meaning. So remember, what you check for yourself is highly important as well. But because we were going to the last classes, to the last cards, again, as I said, I'm not being able to present this material because when I try to present, my screen go black. And let me see if I'm sharing it correctly. Yes, I am. Okay. So on our last final two cards to finish the Major Arcana cards classes, we will be returning on the 20th card, which is the Judgment, because we had stopped on the Sun with so much good positive energy, right? As I said, I will be reading the technical part with you guys so I don't forget out on anything before we go to the intuitive reading part of it, okay? So, the Judgment card depicts an angel blowing a trumpet calling forth the dead from their graves. The figure rises from the earth, symbolizing resurrection, rebirth, and the final judgment of the soul. The mountains in the background represent the spiritual ascent and the attainment of higher consciousness. Some people could say that this looks like a happy image, but some people also say that they're looking like begging. That's why it's so important for you to develop with these cards your own perception, okay? In the upright position, the Judgment card represents rebirth, transformation, and the final reckoning of the soul. It symbolizes the call to a higher purpose, the awakening to one's true self, and the realization of the divine plan. Philosophically speaking, this card teaches the importance of self assessment, the recognition of one's actions, and the acceptance of responsibility for one's choices. Psychologically, the Judgment card represents the process of self realization, the awakening of the inner self, and the transformation that comes from embracing one's true nature. And mystically speaking, this card symbolizes the resurrection of the soul, the alignment with the divine will, and the attainment of spiritual enlightenment. I want to do my personal comments, but right after reverse, okay? In the reversed position, it may indicate self doubt, a fear of change, or an inability to let go of the past. It can suggest a reluctance to embrace transformation, a resistance to the call of the soul, or a failure to take responsibilities for one's action. Psychologically speaking, in the reverse position, the Judgment card reflects the struggle with self acceptance, the fear of self realization, and the challenges of understanding the spiritual rebirth that everyone lives, right? And mystically, the reversed position of this card warns of the dangers of ignoring the call of the soul, leading to stagnation and the loss of spiritual growth. It's almost as if they want to, right by the final two cards, they are preparing you for the most brutal, okay? But it's not. It's actually a lot of good news, okay? So, when we're talking about this self transformation, this resurrection of the soul, and this alignment with the divine will, pay attention to this. For tarot, can I speak it like this? I think it's a good reference. Yes, I can speak it like this because it will give clearance by association. Okay. For tarot, God is within you. So when you tell you to get in touch with your divine power, we're not talking of a will outside of yourself. When we're talking of you following God's will or divine will, that will is actually yours. Can you keep that in mind? I don't want to explain that a lot because if you keep that in mind, if you get the information just like this, it will be enough for you to understand the value of this card. Okay? So when you are in a reading and you get this card that is talking about this moment of the recognition of the soul true will aligned with God's will, that is actually talking about that thing in which you will connect with so much hermetic matchness. Can I speak of it like that? I hope I can. I hope we get to understand anyway. So hermetically fitting each other that it will feel blissful, plenty. It will feel like, yeah, amazing. It's like fulfilling, okay? So when you're reading and you're looking for this thing that is something for yourself, and you find this card, it is almost telling you that you're aligning with that own true natural will from your original essence and and how can I call it? Your inner thing. Can we understand it? Inner thing? Oh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes they lack in expressions, right? Anyway, so when you find the judgment, we're talking about that moment in which your will, not your mind will, because your mind may tell you, oh, before hitting the road to my road's destination, I still want to go to the bakery and get some ice cream. Okay, so I'm not talking about your mind's will. I'm not talking about the things that you ponder. I'm not talking about the things that you overthink. I'm actually talking about that rhythm that comes from you with a lot of flow, that it's unstoppable on you. You are just going to wake up and do that because that is so you, okay? So when we're talking about the divine will that you're matching up with, is something so intrinsic to your own personality that you will go through it naturally. And this is the flow of life calling you back to your divine mission. And when I say divine mission, we're talking about that thing that you came here on earth to do to contribute for society. So, okay, this is supposed to be a contribution for society while it also makes you happy. And why is that? Because when you go through the divine path of your own will to do the things you like, that you feel pleasant about, you will inevitably touch other people's lives and you will inspire them inevitably. And while that is happening, sometimes you're not even realizing that you are spreading yourself out there to influence a lot of people. So when I say of something that you're going to do to contribute for society, I'm not talking of just charity that you do for other people's good. I'm actually talking of something that is so deeply true on your inner you, your you, that you will do it naturally and you will feel positive about this. Okay? And this point is really interesting because this is one of the biggest prosperities there are. Okay, so people consider financial prosperity to be the strongest and the most powerful one. And when instead, it's actually one of the weakest ones because the financial prosperity gives you a lot of material power, ground earthly powers, but it doesn't bring you happiness, doesn't bring you joy, doesn't bring you peace of mind. Those other states are other types of prosperity that you don't get to attain them by money, by buying. So judgment is talking of a big time prosperity in so many levels, okay? This is the moment in which the election of your soul, the choices from your essence, they will be heard. So this is a very magical power, okay? Now let's go through the imagery of the card with each other. Guys, if I'm receiving some messages and I'm not seeing it, I'm so sorry. Let me check on that because maybe there is someone talking to me. Oh no, if I was here, it's from somewhere else. Okay. Anyway, so I am enhancing the card for us to look better on it, okay? What you have in here, look, so many symbols. People naked, innocence. Open arms, receptiveness, or requirements. They're looking to the sky, so they're talking of a spiritual communication. You have an angel making an announcement. You have on the background some agitated waters. No, that's like the grass from the graves. Yeah, like a cemetery. So you have cold mountains on the background. You have souls resurrecting from their cemetery. You have, even though you have the fields from the cemetery, they're on a bright daylight, which is talking about some very clarified ideas. And when we see those clouds in the angel, we're talking about things that come from, will connect you on your mental realm. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, mental realm, because it is a process that will come to inspire you through mental processing, like thinking, okay? So in this point, it's like the ultimate call. It's like your call is being called and it's giving the right to follow whatever it is that your heart desires. Are you going to show yourself your truth, honesty? Sorry for the redundance. I'm looking for your true calling, your true, the reason to which you wake up feeling so good about life, okay? It will be calling you at that moment. It's an ultimate call. Hey, are you gonna answer your soul's call? Are you gonna just go back to the normal routine, social, materialistic daily life? Okay? Because when we're talking about a soul calling, we are going to stop here in this card for a while because this is a very important chat, I must say, okay? When we're talking about the judgment, I hope you have the clarity to have understood that this is about a path that brings you one level of joy that I cannot even begin to explain. When we're talking about your calling, it is so strong on you that you cannot even stop it, okay? You don't have strength to stop it. Do you like writing? Do you see yourself writing sometimes just for fun or for venting? It's because you can't stop it. Life will find ways to lead you there, and what is yours cannot be taken away from no anger, from no jealousy, from no envy. You just have to trust this very tricky side of life because forget about it. It doesn't work as normal society daily stuff. Why is society keep teaching you games on how to go through things the best way you can? No, 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 no. This card is talking about you meeting yourself in your inner mirror and having the courage to say to yourself, are you going to leave yourself happy? Are you going to leave yourself blissful in a path of joy that I keep sending to your heart that make you feel so blessed? Or are you going to try to find society way of living? And I'm sorry to say, because I know spirituality, but I do know which one of them feels the best. Okay, so I even feel sorry for people in that materialistic, unstoppable hunt. I do know how important that is. I hunt that myself, but we should not lose ourselves for that in the middle of the way. Okay, so guys, remember, I think that this has power enough to lead you naturally there. Okay, so don't feel afraid about this. Okay, now let's go through the next card. Just wanted to see what it was. Guys, this is one of my favorite cards. How are they doing it now? Yeah. Oh, that's funny, isn't it? Anyway, and here we are in the last card, and we began this journey as a dreamer, completely not worried to learn so much of how we have to figure things out to find our best potential from our best versions, okay? So if you think about the major arcana cards, it's like if they were talking about the journey of the hero, in which he started as a complete kid, not understanding or wanting to understand anything at all to this being, totally participating throughout there in the world. Um, and this is very meaningful because this is the moment in which you got to spread yourself out there. Not by wanting to spread yourself out there, as I'm doing here with you guys, which I started a channel, I record a live and everything, and then I put it for everyone so people will share it. That's kind of part of it, but that's not exactly it. When I'm saying of spreading yourself out there, I will remember some examples that I have given in previous lives here before of some very hidden way of spreading yourself throughout there. Now, let's suppose you have this advice, as I have. Okay, I have an advice. If you need to cry, go cry in Hawaii. Okay, it's really hard to cry there, so yeah, you should fix your problems while you're there. Because okay, so this is an advice. Okay, this is just for starting a little play. But let's suppose that in this advice, I'm making a lot of sense for someone who's crying right now. And for that person who just wants to get rid of that awful feeling, he or she looks at my advice and think, she kind of has a point. I wouldn't be so sad if I was over there. Yeah, maybe I should go, okay. And then maybe that person goes and have a lot of time. The sadness that the person was feeling is over, and she sees another person crying. Maybe in Hawaii, maybe not. Uh, and then she says the same thing. Hey, I heard a girl and she was saying to me, if you need to cry, go cry in Hawaii. Meaning, go have fun somewhere else. Distract yourself from that pain and look for something that leads you to a better inner place. And then that person tells that other person. And then it works again. And then the person tell another person, that tell another person, and those person tell to other people, and then they tell to 16 other people, and then the message got enhanced and spread it out there, and I'm not even aware of it. And it can happen up to some point that the message has been so largely spread out there that someone at a certain point, years later, someone comes to me, see me crying, and say, "Hey, once someone told me this very wise advice: if you need to cry, go cry in Hawaii." And then I will see that the world brought me to myself. Why am I saying that? Because we are in front of the card of the world. Okay? This is the point in which you will spread yourself out there. Intentionally or unintentionally, you cannot avoid this. And it's not only about physical world, because you know those four elements over there, the bird, the human, the bull, or the ox, and the lamb, they are representing the four elements. And the fact that you still have this ellipse in the middle of it, which almost looks like an Ouroboros, but still the beam is in the middle of it, with its in a sense exposed and in touch with all elements, including the ellipse around her. Sorry about this. Representing the fifth element, okay? So when we're talking about this card, we're not talking about just spreading here on Earth. We already started mixing other levels of existence on our actions. Most of all, the things that we do from our hearts that we really spread them out there, okay? Um, this is a necessary reflection because this is a huge, really huge potential right in front of you if you get that card, okay? But let's go for the technical part of it before exploring more the intuitive part of it. So the imagery of the world card depicts a figure dancing within a breath, symbolizing completion, wholeness, and the fulfillment of the soul's journey. The four figures in the corners represent the four elements, the four directions, and the four fixed signs of the zodiacs. The red symbolizes the cycle of life and the completion of a cycle. So, this is not only talking about endings, because in every ending, there's also the beginning. So, when you really look at this card, if it ever gets to you in a reading, embrace this, be thankful for the cycle that is ending, which, as I did today, we're ending this Major Arcana classes, and I thanked for it, just like that. You want to know why? Because sometimes, from the past experience, you've had a pain, but that pain also led you to learning. And probably some of the mistakes that you did back in the past, exactly because you did them in the past and you suffered from them, you will be avoiding them on the future. And that is precious. You cannot judge yourself for the mistakes you did when you didn't know how to react better. Okay? And this whole thing is the path, is the process of your learning. Okay? So it's not about feeling guilty for what didn't work out. It's about, it's more about, hey, experience, I know you were in here. And while you were in here, you were in my life because I had brought you to my life. I am responsible for what I create in my life. But if that phase wasn't the best version of me, I want you to know that I have used it for learning how to not make the same mistakes again, to not hurt someone else, as I hurt you. So, so when we're talking of this moment in which we look at our past and we see bullshit that we did, let's be thankful for that as well, because it's our learning process, okay? And believe me, I am learning the fifth and the sixth language together, and it is super hard. While I'm in the beginning, I allow myself all the mistakes that I do, because exactly by making those mistakes is that I will be able to receive someone saying, "Hey, look at that grammar rule that you just did incorrectly. The correct rule was like this." So, oh yes, thank you. I'm in the beginning, so thank you for teaching me. Yes, I know you're in the beginning. So authorize yourself to commit those mistakes. Oh, but Danny, I'm 63, I'm 79. I don't care, honey, we're kids. Comparing to the whole wisdom of the world, we're babies. We're not out of the diapers. Maybe if you're a guru, maybe if you're a monk, maybe if you are meditating with your eyes closed for the last 5 days, then yes, maybe you acquainted a lot of wisdom, and yet you're going to be a kid close to the wisdom of the world, the wise, the white fraternity, the Buddhas, the Jesus, and all those forces of so much respect. Okay, uh, guys, I'm sorry, I know I diverged from the content, but it's when I talk to them and they inspire me. Thank you. Anyway, so yes, thank your last cycle and think with a lot of love. Because in say today's cycle, please cycle, thank you so much because you are preparing me so well for the next cycle. And the fact that I did so many mistakes taught me how to go through this in a better way. So in the next phase, it will probably be a lot better. Okay? This is how we should talk to ourselves because we are totally allowed to make mistakes. Okay? We are authorized to not know. And the good thing is about this world is that I truly believe because I've seen it working that everything that we are looking for, we are going to find. Even most of all, if it's from your heart, which I hope that my personal guru also find his love mate because his heart has been calling that person to his life experience for a really long time right now. Hey, babe, I wish you all the luck in the world. You know my love for you, right? Anyway, and okay, so this is about going through out there in the world, leaving the past experiences in the past so you can start new life cycles. And there is such a great big part of it, okay, which I will want to share with you guys. The big image in here, okay? So you have this whole thing going on. There are no rules, okay? Forget other people's and base rules on their education patterns, okay? Trust in you. How do you feel when you have to face new things, okay? Because all the hints that can lead you to your better path to find this true potential from the world card as we were talking just now, it is just one decision away to become reality if you just search for everything within. And why am I saying that? Because you don't need to like life as other people taught you to like life. You can like life in the weirdest way possible. And that will still be true. Okay? So back to the card. Yeah, because it was very emotional. I really needed to talk that of the big screen on it. Anyway, uh, technical logical meaning of the card before we go into the intuitive reading again. Danny, could you please zoom? Yes, I'll try. Is it better? It's better. Let's see what about mix. Anyway. Guys, again, if you want this content, you don't need to do the print screens, okay? You just go for loveandboutique.com, become a membership. You have so much benefit from it, not just this material, but yes, this material is also available there. And soon will also be the Minor Arcana cards material, okay? So you can download everything there because it's already ready. Again, in the upright position, the world card represents completion, fulfillment, and the realization of one's true purpose. It symbolizes the integration of all aspects of the self and the attainment of harmony and the realization of the divine plan. Again, divine plan being your own will. Okay, don't forget that. God for tarot is you within yourself, respecting everything that you feel like it's important for you without considering anyone else. Because if it is important for your spirit to consider anyone else, it will do it naturally, okay? Anyway, back here. So philosophically speaking, this card teaches the importance of wholeness, the understanding that all things are interconnected, and the celebration of life's achievements. Psychologically, the world card represents the culmination of the individuation process, the integration of the conscious and the unconscious minds, and attainment of inner harmony. And mystically speaking, this card symbolizes the completion of the soul's journey, the realization of one's place in cosmic order, and the attainment of spiritual alignment. And guys, along with that comes the knowledge of everything is perfectly as the way it is. Even though we would like to discuss that it is true, okay? Are you in a bad situation? I'm sorry, you are perfectly where you need to be right now. So when you embrace the acceptance of life as it is, you start participating in the process in a way that you don't lead yourself out of bad vibrations to put yourself into the good moods, okay? And remember, it has to be an effort because usually sadness pulls sadness as much as joy pulls more joy. So if you're in sadness, your state will want to remain in there. So you need to make an effort to want to leave there. And that's why I say, if you need to cry, go cry in Hawaii. Anyway, what if the experience gets so much better in Hawaii that you even forget why you were crying, right? That's what I hope for. Anyway, in the reversed position, the card, the world, in a sense of complete, is talking about a sense of incompletion, a lack of closure, or an inability to fully realize one's true potential. It can suggest a feeling of being stuck, a reluctance to move forward, or a fear of embracing the next stage of the journey. Psychologically speaking, oh, and I'm loving to finish with this card because it has everything to do with what I'm going on right now. Psychologically speaking, the reverse world card reflects the challenges of integrating the self, the struggle with the feelings of inadequacy, and the difficulties of finding fulfillment. Mystically speaking, this card warns of the dangers of resisting the completion of a cycle, leading to a sense of stagnation and a loss of connection to the divine orbit. Yes, that sadness that some people feel when they're feeling like they're not doing the right thing. I know how that is. Okay, guys, so let's enhance the card here so we can explore together, okay? So, I'm going to enhance the size of it a little bit. So, send it to the front. Perfect. Awesome. So we can explore better with our natural human perception, okay? So first of all, we have a being in the middle of a circle. Ellipse, right? But still a circle. Because the thing is close, it's talking about completion. If it wasn't talking about the completion, it would be separated in one of the each sides. So because it's completed, it's talking about the completion. And because the being is inside of this circle, we're talking about the completion of the being. Now, look how powerful that is, and you can take so much from it. That person in there, to me, because of the breasts, looks like a woman. And apparently, she's hiding part of her body sexual parts, but not the chest. Meaning that she's keeping her roots for herself, but her heart is open. The fact that this fabric is actually in white is talking about the purity involving this person in the completion of the cycle. And not only that, but if you realize she has two things in her hands, could those be like lanterns? Could those be like lightings? Could those be like candles? Those could be like uh, what those artistic fireworks that people sometimes yeah do artistic movements with it, so the fire will look beautiful around them. Anyway, okay. So we're having here two stacks. Can I call those two stacks, please? I'm gonna use two stacks because nothing is coming to my mind right now besides this word. And in those two stacks, you can see that she's got one in each hand. So we're talking about a person who's got good resources, okay? Her position is of someone going along with the flow, not worried. She's not like in a sense of alert. And if you look around the circle, she has the four elements from the four fixed signs, okay? So we have um, the lion for the lion, the ox for the Taurus sign, the bird for Aquarius, and the man for Scorpio. And why is that? Because we're talking about someone who found this completion, and that state can only be attained when you are involved with all elements. So in here, it's very clear that all elements are in balance. Each one occupies one corner. They occupy uh, uh, equally large size, equally large sized. Thank you. Role in the card, and you see that there is a bright, clear sky, right? So even though the elements have some gray colored clouds on them, it's just because the participation of the elements may not be so clear, even though they're there. But still, this card is very clear, and it's someone with a very open heart. And when you're talking of an element looking to the bright side, you're talking about someone looking for future perspectives, not looking back at the past. So this card represents a lot of good things, but most of all, that completion, that sense of fulfillment that is so highly important for everyone. Um, Guys, thank you so much again. I'm sorry that I took this October off. I truly believe me, this was really needed. And now I'm back, and I will be back even more from Monday to Friday. Starting this first week at 4 p.m., I'll be here every day with a 15 minutes explanation for each minor arcana cards on Rider-Waite Tarot. Rider-Waite Tarot, okay? So again, if you have been liking the content, remember to subscribe, share with people who may like it as well. Give us your likes, and always please share your comments because they can enhance so much for us to share together, okay? Because maybe your comment can lead me to greater reflection that could bring us to a bigger knowledge together, okay? So you're very welcome to share your thoughts on all of these classes, okay? Guys, thank you so much for being here with me through the whole course. If you're going to watch it now, if you have watched it in the past, if you're going to watch it in the future, thank you so much for allowing me time of your attention and the space in your heart. And have a very blissful week ahead. And again, every day now from Monday to Friday, 4 p.m., we're going to go through the minor arcana cards. And if you want to download the material, it will be available for memberships only of the channel. loveandmoonboutique.com. Note the page, loveandmoonboutique.com, okay? Thank you so much again. Kisses in your heart. Love and Moon Boutique as well. Spirituality that I love so much. Thanks all the levels. Thanks my inner levels as well. Have a great week ahead. Bye bye.